Hey everyone, Paul ISM. Welcome to part 9 of our Model Factory Hero 1/12 scale Lancia HF Delta Evo 92 video build. So a little bit of a gap on this for a while I was waiting on some parts turning up. They have arrived. We have the spare roll cage bits, so we can crack on with that. And something else we were putting off for quite some time is the clear coat of this, because I knew it was going to be a mammoth undertaking. Knew it. And it's done at last. So I've got a video here today. I'm not sure how many people are going to find it interesting, but it's basically 20 minutes of clear coat that took me an hour and a half in total, using an entire set of Gravity Spain 2K clear, and was just an absolute nightmare in keeping all the parts safe, mounted securely, and dust free. So I did it. I managed to mount everything up on the live show. Told everyone I was going to spray it this morning, now, and it didn't. I came out the live show yesterday and did it straight away. So it is now done, and what a relief that it's done. Anyway, let's get to the video and let's see me doing said actions. There we go. Hey everyone, please subscribe to the channel, click the bell notifications, get notified of our latest videos, give the video a thumbs up or a thumbs down, and leave a comment. I do read and appreciate every comment you guys and girls leave behind. I may not reply to them all, but they are all appreciated. And there's a link in the description of the video that takes you to a big long list of all handy videos and a lot of the products I use in my videos. You now have the chance to support the video content creation by using Patreon or the PayPal me link in the description down below. All the videos will always remain free to watch. This is just your chance to help support the videos. Okay, so we're in the spray booth. We have everything mounted, ready for 2K. This was a mammoth task. There are 17 individual pieces to clear coat on this. They're all large. Some are really heavy because they're white metal. And they all need to be kept undercover in one of these boxes, away from each other, and moved around several times through the process of 2K. So this is going to become quite a challenge. I have 3 of my plastic drop down front boxes. One's got the body shell in, one's got the majority of the body shell parts in, and the other one is mostly empty. And the plan is to transfer bits across from one to the other whilst applying the clear coats. Now, completely unsure how much of this clear coat we're going to use, but I can tell you we're going to use near enough an entire bottle. I know we're using the remnants of a bottle here, but it's going to use an entire set of the 2K clear to paint all these bits. There's a lot of it and a lot to cover. So I'll start off with a 15mm mix of clear, 5mm of hardener, 5mm of thinner. So the 3:1:1 mix, I've gone that route first of all. So that's the 15mm of clear's gone in. We're going to add 5mm of the hardener in there, and then a 5mm of thinner. Now, I was completely unsure how much I was going to need, so I thought I'll just mix a bit now and mix it as we go. So I do end up mixing a 15mm lot first, then a 9mm, then another 9mm, but we didn't use all the last 9mm one. So it was roughly about 28mm in total of clear coat we used, which is not including the thinner and the hardener. So, like I say, a lot of clear coat, a lot of spraying, and a lot of mucking around, picking individual parts up and moving them from one box to the other, because it's important to keep them dust free. So that's the idea of using the boxes. Now, a normal 2K job on a car takes me roughly about half an hour. This took me about an hour and a half. Really did. It was a pain. I've sped a lot of this up, cut a bit of it out to speed up the process. We've got 10-minute wait times between each coat as well. So yeah, I've cut out a lot of the footage, but I've left everything in as much as I can. We're going to go through some of it at normal speed, some of it sped up with some music because I don't want it to become really boring. But basically, this is a 20-minute 2K video. Now, as I said at the beginning of this series, I was going to cover everything as in depth as I could, and that's the idea of doing this. If you don't want to watch this, I completely understand. It's not the most interesting of videos, but it's a part of the journey of the build, and that's why I'd left it. So there we go. So that's our 15mm clear, 5mm of hardener. We've then stirred that to mix it up. Then that pipette's been thrown away, as you can see there. And now we've got our thinner. And we're going to put 5mm of thin in with a fresh pipette. And then we'll mix that up and ready to go. I am double gloved on that left hand because that's the hand that will get covered in 2K. My arms are covered. I've got my full face respirator on. The AS300 Benchman booth is on. I've got Kermit the Frog inspired filter in there from paint, but it's all good. We've wet the surface of the kitchen paper to hopefully stop any dust, and I've shut the window to the cave. I find shutting the window has reduced the dust immensely on the clear coats because it's not sucking any particles in from outside. And yeah, hopefully on this one we'll get a pretty clear, nice dust-free clear coat on this as well. But there we go, that's all that mixed up. So we've got 25mm in total of 2K clear here. So I'm just trying to figure out in total how much would we use. So it's going to be 50mm of clear coat in total to cover this thing, which isn't too bad at all. I've got a 190 micron paint strainer, and I'm just going to strain it. I do this as a matter of course, just in case we get any crusty bits off the bottle lids in the clear. This will get rid of it, because the hardener does dry on the rim over time, and I don't want that going in my clear coat. And then all these pieces are thrown away. They're never used again. We've got the Bonnet first. This is a big white metal piece. We've got my anti-static Tamiya brush. Everything's securely mounted using double-sided pads and bottles and tongue depressors and what have you. And we're going to go with the standard tack coat first. So Ultimate Apex 0.35 needle. We're at about 20 psi. And we're going to put down a mist tack coat to begin with. As you know, we do this to give us a nice tack coat for our wetter coat. So you spray this on. It's not really going on glossy. You still like a semi-gloss finish to the surface. That's left 10 minutes to tack up, which it does go unbelievably sticky. And then once you put your wet coats down, that will help prevent runs as the paint sticks to that tack coat. And like I say, it's going through the process of individually painting 17 parts. So make sure all your parts are very, very securely mounted. As you can see, mine are on bottles with 3M double-sided pads or onto tongue depressors. I'm confident none of these are going to fall off. And it's a case of transferring from one box, 2K into the other one, line them all up so they all fit in well, give it the 10 minutes off gas, and then back across 2K into the other box. So I've got a box either side. You can just see the left-hand side one on the back. This one on the right, you can see in plain sight. So that way we should hopefully keep it relatively dust-free. The one for the body shell is up above the spray booth because it's just a large body shell. And we can just take that out and put that straight back in. But our main concern is to reduce the dust and obviously make sure none of the parts stick together. I've done that before. I've had parts stick and it destroys the parts, just rips the paint off and the decals. So just be very aware of parts and where they're going. So like I say, tack coat's going down. That funny finish to the decals has gone instantly on the tack coat. It's like the adhesive marks on the decals themselves. And as you can see, they have laid down absolutely beautiful. But there's a lot to 2K. There really, really is. And this is still the tack coat. I'm going to speed the other coats up, but I just thought I'd show the speed that I paint. But yeah, it's getting there. This is a step that's been putting me off doing this for some time. I've been kind of dreading doing this because of the sheer logistical nightmare of all these parts. But sat there yesterday morning on a live stream, mounting all the parts, thinking, yeah, I'll do this in the morning. I'll do this in the morning. I came straight off the live stream and just thought, you know what? Let's just do it. And I did it. So, like I say, it took some time. Wearing that big respirator of mine for an hour and a half was absolutely knackering because obviously it does restrict your breathing a bit and it's very, very hot. And then obviously the sheer challenge of clear coating this amount of parts is quite a handful as well. But we get there and we do it. So like I say, tack coat first, just a thin semi-gloss coat. Getting even coverage all round. But like I say, just be careful of all your parts. Don't drop anything. Don't let anything touch together. If you get any hairs in at the stage or dust, you can get them out at this stage. I'd say in this stage, in the first wet coat, you can get them out. After that, you kind of have to leave them be. So long parts like this, I mounted on 2 tongue depressors. One, it stuck to, using 3M sticky pads, and the other one, it stuck to as well to raise it off so it could hold it. This spoiler was a real challenge to mount, and yeah, it mounted like this with sticky pads just fine. So yeah, a little bit of a challenge. When we painted these, I had all these parts on different kind of bulldog clips and springback clips, but it's just not secure enough for 2K because if you drop a part with 2K on it, it's literally one of the most sticky substances known to man. It's horrific. and if it lands on anything, it instantly sticks to it. If it lands on a carpet, it's going to look hairy. So yeah, you want to make sure this stuff is mounted properly. Body shell, we've only got to do the roof, the front windscreen pillars, the B pillar and the C pillar, and around the back of the boot. Nowhere else is 2K'd on this because all the body panels are separate. I've masked off the front where we sprayed the silver because I don't want that 2K'ing. So we just did a quick mask job. It doesn't make any difference if we get any 2K on the side panels because we have panels to go over the top of these. So yeah, it's not too big an area to do. But again, just be careful here. Don't let it touch anywhere. And this piece is in its own case all by itself. So right, so there's the first full round of 2K. Around everything, our tack coat. These are then put away, left to tack off for 10 minutes. And then we come back for our second coat. Now I've sped this footage up just because we want to get through this quicker. This is a more wet coat, so we're going a little bit slower on the passes and allowing a little bit more of the 2K down. Now we're not still striving for a wet coat here. We're literally going for another semi-wet coat. We'll get the wet coat on the last coat. We're just slowly building up the layers, and then again, this will be left for 10 minutes to tack off, and it'll give us that nice sticky layer for our final wet coat. But this one, you just want a uniform, near gloss surface. You'll see it. The more you do 2K, you'll judge it better. It's trial and error to figure it out. But yeah, just take your time. Be careful. Again, be careful not letting parts stick together. Get them in the box again. As you can see, I'm moving from one box back to the other. Get them under cover as quick as you can, and just be very careful about touching parts or dropping them. Okay, there's the second round of clear coat done. Just get rid of a little hair at the top. So that's our second wet coat, or second coat down. Now we've left that off gas for another 10 minutes and we're back with our wet coat. Now, I go for the full wet coat on this one, but I don't leave it there. So we'll put a wet coat down. If it's not quite perfect, I'll leave it be. This stuff is self-leveling, 2K self-levels. So I'll put the parts back in the box so I can go through a full coat again. And then when we're done, we'll pick the parts straight back up because they've had a couple of minutes to self-level, especially on this because the sheer amount of parts we've got to get through. And we'll have another look at it. And if we look at it and think, oh, it needs a little bit more, we'll give it a little bit more. And if not, we'll leave it be. That way you'll find you're not putting too much 2K down first when it hasn't had time to self-level, and you will end up with a nicer clear coat. So in case of going around, a little bit slower passes again, a little bit heavier paint. Don't go mad though. Somebody asked me a question the other day about what is the precise measurement I'm pulling my needle back, and there isn't one. It's just done by muscle memory and learning how much paint you put down, and it varies from coat to coat. It's just something you'll pick up over time. So I just need to mix a bit more 2K. So going for another 9mm mix here. So 9mm of clear, 3mm of hardener, 3mm of activator, of thinner, my bad. And I'm just going to mix that together again as before for our second batch of clear coat. Now obviously make sure your airbrush is spotlessly clean before you do this. I would recommend having your own airbrush for 2K, saving the contaminants of paint, but you can leave the 2K in the brush. This stuff doesn't go off even after an hour. The 2K hadn't started to go off in the airbrush, and this is why I did it in 2 sittings or 2 mixes of clear coat. So no clear coat was more than like half an hour old. So yeah, you can leave it in the airbrush while you're 2K, and people ask me this all the time. It's just fine. It doesn't dry that quick when it's in a colour cup together. It's just when it's on the model that starts to actually work as it should. And there we go, coming to the end of our third wet coat. Just going to get the body, and there we go. So like I say, we are striving to get the full wet coat now, but if after a pass it's not exactly perfect, I just put it back down for another couple of minutes, let its self-leveling properties work, and like we've done there, I'm then going to get the rest of the parts out and finish them, and then we'll go round, take all the parts out, quickly have an inspect, and if they all look fine, we'll leave them be. But as you can see, I'm just giving these ever such a light coating, and you can see there we've got an almost perfect gloss. What you don't want to see is orange peel, because what you're left with at the end of the 2K is almost what you'll get. Unless you put a bit too much down, then you'll get runs. But if you can see orange peel in there, you probably end up with orange peel when it dries. So it's well worth going through and checking everything, which is why I'm going back through and giving everything another light coat over. Just pick it up, look at it, think it's not quite a mirror finish. I'll just give it a tiny little bit more. And as you can see, it's just getting a quick pass. I'm not going mad. It's just getting a quick pass over. So technically, I suppose it is 4 coats, but it's technically a tack coat, a semi-wet coat, a semi-wet coat, and a semi-wet coat is the way I do it. Rather than a tack coat, a semi-wet coat, and a wet coat, I find doing that often gives me way too thick a 2K. Doing it this way has been working really well for me lately, and this is the way I'm sticking. It might not be the correct way, but it's my way. And as you've seen my clear coats lately, they are coming out pretty good, so I'm happy with it. But use your light in your spray booth. Good lighting is essential in my opinion. You can angle everything and use the light to check for flaws, which is what I'm doing. You can see the orange peel. And there we go, on to the bonnet itself. Need a little bit more 2K. As you can see, we've got a nice clear coat on there now. And that's just what we want. So they look good, so they're all back in the box. I'm happy that the clear coat's there. What we can do then is go through all the parts again, check them all, and if they're fine, leave them be. If they need another small piece of clear coat over the top, we can do it again. So judgment is key. Need a little bit more 2K again, so I'm just going to mix another 9mm. This bottle, well, it's been absolutely creased by this clear coat, so I just went with 9mm again, 3mm hardener, 3mm of thinner again. We don't use all of this though, this is just for our very final mist coats. And bear in mind, all these sped up segments are 8 times speed. So, you know, for what is a 2-minute video, is essentially a 8-minute video. It's just sped up for you. But you can see how much clear coat's going on. Now, admittedly with 2K, most of it misses the model. It always does. But we just need this last mix, and I thought, you know what, let's just do it. If we're going to do it properly. Let's not be stingy over 2K. But I did waste about probably 5 or 6mm. And there we go. Just a final piece on this so we can go through and check everything. Like I say now, if you do mount things like this to tongue depressors or lollipop sticks, just make sure they're securely mounted. It's so easy to drop parts, and it's probably the worst thing you can do. It really is. You see we've got a nice clear coat on that body shell now. It's looking good. The decals have come alive. They look absolutely wonderful. And there we go. A couple of minutes later, I'm just going to check every part. Happy with the clear coat, that looks great. And I'm literally picking up every single part. I'm just looking for visible flaws. I'm looking for orange peel. And if it hasn't got any, go straight back in the box. So I'm angling it towards the light, and if I see anything, I just give it a little mist over where it requires. And that way we know everything is perfect. So, like I say, decanting from one box to the other is what took so long doing. But we kept it relatively dust-free. We just got a few specks of dust here and there, not a lot at all. Nothing a little bit of sanding can sort later on. You may find some parts need a little bit more paint than others. Especially parts like bumpers, they're multi-angled, it'd be a little bit difficult to get that full clear coat, perfect. Like I say, if it doesn't need touching, leave it be. But if you are touching up parts like I'm doing here, just do a very, very fine mist. Like I said, there's no really right or wrong way with 2K. I've seen people do 2 coats. I've been told by set manufacturers you can do up to 5. Whatever works for you. But I'm finding doing that tack coat, semi-wet coat, semi-wet coat, semi-wet coat is working well for me because my 2K is not going too thick. I'm not getting any runs. And straight out the airbrush, it's looking phenomenal. So for me, that's better than doing the old tack coat, semi-wet coat, full wet coat, which was a lot of 2K going down in once. And I'm also using less 2K as well this way. So yeah, whatever works for you. If you're getting good results, don't change what you're doing. If you're not, like I was, maybe have a look and see what you can alter and make better. But there we go. Body shell looks good. Got a little bit of dust on the body shell itself, just because of the sheer size of the thing. I'm moving it around, but overall, it's looking great. Definitely glad to have that step out of the way. And there we go. There's all the parts. So they're the 16 individual body parts. This was afterwards. I lined them all up so you could see. The colour's a bit off in here because the lighting and the green is kind of screwing my phone camera. But they're all the parts that were 2K'd. Lots of them. As I said, 17 fully with the body. And there's the body shell. And there we go. There's a job I've been dreading to do. Done. So there we are. That's it. Done at last. Been putting that off for ages. Wasn't really that bad to do. It just took forever to do. It was a big undertaking, but it is now done. Thank God for that. And it turned out well. Everything is drying. That's going to be left for ages now. We can go back to working on the interior. We can get our roll cage built and get going with the building. And I've missed working on this, so I was really enjoying this kit. And obviously in the meantime, the 037 Lancia has arrived. And I'm looking forward to building that at some stage as well. So yeah, there we go. Hope it wasn't too boring of a video for you. Like I say, more of a matter of course and the journey to do. But I guess if you're following the build and you're interested, you'll watch it and follow it. And if not, there'll hopefully be some more interesting things along the way. But there we go. Glad it's done. I know for sure. And this thing is going to look spanking when it's done. It's going to look beautiful. Those decals went down great. And they look great under the 2K. Colour vibrancy is good. And it just looks great. Really, really does. Very, very happy about that yesterday. And glad to have got it done. Right, there we go. Hopefully back with part 10 pretty soon. I am like a modelling demon at the minute. Knocking out work left, right and centre. So loads of builds coming up. Loads of new builds coming up. Some reviews. Loads of videos on the go. Is there such thing as too many videos? I don't know, but I'm building and enjoying them while I'm live streaming, so the videos are getting produced and they're there for you to watch should you wish. There we go. Thanks for watching today. As always, like support the videos and myself. There's a Patreon me link down below. If you become a patron tier to a higher, you get 2-week early access on all these videos, as well as knowing that you're keeping the videos going, because without your support I couldn't do this. There's a PayPal me and a Buy Me a Coffee link should you wish to support in different ways as well. There's links down below to everything social media related for myself, ISM. There's the Starring and Machine group for the model cars, bikes, trucks, etc. and full scale stuff as well. I've combined them both in a group. There's links for the group builds page, Off Air Hangout page, the live page, the lot. As well as links to my Scalemates, my Amazon storefront, the products I use, and an email address. Get in touch with me should you wish as well. So there we go. Don't forget to watch us on Friday night for our Friday night live shows. And of course, sub to the channel. Make sure you click that bell notifications, get notified of the latest videos. Give the video a thumbs up if you could. And leave a comment as well. Lovely reading all your comments. They really spare me on the builds. And there we go. Let me know what you think of the 2K job. Question for today. What is the thing you dread most about modelling? And I don't necessarily mean the thing you don't like doing the most, but what is the most worrying part of it? I love decaling. Love it. But it's always in the back of my mind that I'm one step away from ruining a decal job. And a lot of the decal sets I have, you can't get anymore. And I've only got one shot of doing it. So that's it for me. It's like a double-edged sword. Love doing it, but I'm always nervous about doing it because I'm always like, oh my God, if it goes wrong, I'm screwed, etc., etc. So Yeah, what's the most daunting thing modelling wise that you do? Like I say, not the thing you don't like doing, just what is the most daunting thing? There we are. Enjoy the rest of the day, everyone. Take care. Bye bye.